What happens when Swamp Thing goes to war against his own kind? Let's find out. What's up, my comic comrades? DC's awesome Black Label Swamp Thing Green Hell series recently returned after a long hiatus, and the story so far was worth the wait. We already covered the first issue, so you can catch up fully on that right here. However, the basic summary of the story is that the parliaments have deemed the world beyond saving and are scheming to kill all human life on Earth so they can reset things more in line with their liking. John Constantine then caught wind of this, and at the end of issue 1, summoned Alec Holland's Swamp Thing to save the day. Now let's see how he feels about that as issue 2 opens up. The issue starts off with narration of Swamp Thing saying, while catching a butterfly in his hand, "My name was Alec Holland. For a very long time, my days were filled with horrors, filled with monsters. There was a time when I thought this was all my days would ever be, but then I touched beauty." As we see, he's living in paradise with his wife and daughter saying, "Now my days are filled with wonder, filled with love, filled with family. The monsters are long gone. I barely remember them anymore. I've earned my rest, earned my peace. One day stretches into eternity, or at least that's how it was until today." We then see Swamp Thing being sucked away by magic as he's holding his daughter, with his wife asking, "Alec, what's happening?" He says, "Abby, take Teffy and run. Run, baby, run," as he gets sucked away somewhere. He says to himself, "This day was never supposed to come. They promised me reprieve. They promised me I was free. The first thing I smell is still smoke and arrogance. The first thing I smell is Constantine," as we see him back on Earth holding Constantine by the throat, picking up exactly where issue 1 left off. Swamp Thing tells Constantine, "I was free. I was home. How dare you?" Constantine says, "Sorry to interrupt the vacation, Alec, my boy, but we've got a little problem. It seems you gotta save us from the green." Alec replies, "I have to do no such thing. Now send me back, now, or I swear I will kill you this time." Constantine replies, "Go ahead. You don't stop your old bosses, and I'm as good as dead anyway." And so are they, as he points to George and the little girl. The girl says, "It's one of the monsters." Swamp Thing says, "Monsters?" and asks Constantine, "What have you done to these people?" He replies, "Not me. The green has decided to wipe out what's left of us. Start from scratch." Swamp Thing asks, "What happened to the world?" John says, "What do you bloody think? We killed it. Who would have seen that coming, eh?" The little girl Veronica says, "No, we didn't. I didn't kill the world. I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was be born in it, and now there's monsters and dying, and you all want to take it from me." Swamp Thing responds, "I'm sorry, child. This is not my fight. I have fought, but this world, you people, are no longer my responsibility." The girl in tears says, "But my dad is back there. My dad is there, and there's monsters like you, and everyone is dying." Constantine tells Alec, "Sorry, Green Jeans. I'm not sending you back until you clean up the mess the Parliament has made. Kill me if you want, but that won't get you back to your little sanctuary either. Like it or not, you are bound to this place now." Swamp Thing says, "You are truly a bastard," with Constantine replying, "Yeah, obviously." So Swamp Thing has no other choice but to say, "I will attend to this, and then you send me home or you finally die. The choice will be yours." At this point, John disappears and George and Veronica are left on his island, but Veronica sneaks away and takes a boat to go find her dad. Meanwhile, we see Swamp Thing going to attend to these other monsters, the evil Swamp Thing, if you will. And he finds it on land tearing people apart, literally, to which he says, "Stop that, now." The evil Swamp Thing replies, "All gone. Stop when they are all gone," as it charges Swamp Thing. Swampy then says, "You are a sad little thing. I'm sorry they did this to you." But the evil Swamp Thing just punches right through Swamp Thing's torso saying, "Sad, not sad anymore. Big trees fix me, never sad again." At this point, Swamp Thing gets pissed off and starts laying into this monster that the Parliament has created. And while he's doing so, he's pulled away by the green. They then tell Swamp Thing, "You are not to be here. You agreed to stay away. You would not take your place among the Parliament of Trees, Alec Holland. We gave you respite, but in return, you are not to meddle as if you were among us." Swamp Thing tells them, "I did not ask for this. I was ripped from my home." The trickster, Constantine. They tell him, "Quiet. Always some excuse. We will not hear it anymore. Return to your haven now." He tells them, "I cannot. He bound me to this place, the last refuge of mankind." The green tells him, "The mage only bound your shell to the surface world. All you must do is give up your last tether to that body, and we will send you back to your refuge." Swamp Thing looks at them saying, "But those people, they are suffering." The green responds, "And what of us? We too die. We too suffer. All 3 parliaments are dying. Mankind has betrayed the earth, thrown off the balance. They must be purged if we are to survive." Swamp Thing says, "But those people, they're children, just children." The green then says, "If you do not stand down, Alec Holland, we will take measures. We allowed you to have your haven with the souls of the woman and child." He says they are not part of this. They tell him, "And you will never see them again unless you choose to stand with us." Swamp Thing says, "Abby would not want me to forsake those people no matter what. I cannot stand with you. I cannot let them die." The green then says, "Very well, go back to into your husk. The mage may have bound your body, but the green now forsakes you, Alec Holland. You are no longer with the green. You have no more of our power, no more rebirth. Just like the humans, this body will be your last. You could die with them, and they send him back to fight the evil Swamp Thing. So that's crazy. The green just stripped Swamp Thing of his power, meaning he is no longer eternal or can regenerate. So now if he dies, he just dies, as he disobeyed them and chose to fight for humanity. We then see Swamp Thing is getting his butt handed to him by the evil monster, as Veronica throws a rock at the monster, with Swamp Thing saying, "No, child," but then her dad Ronnie comes up and hits the evil Swamp Thing over the back of the head with a hammer, right before it was going to kill her. At this point, Swamp Thing is able to surprise attack the monster, literally ripping it in half and then stomping his head in and killing it. At first, Veronica's dad is like, "Ronnie, get away from that thing," but she says, "No, he's our friend. He helped us and he's hurt," at which point she goes over and grabs some seaweed and helps him bandage up his wounds, because remember, he no longer is connected to the green, so when he gets hurt, he can no longer automatically heal. And after this, we see the Parliaments converse, basically saying they need a legion of avatars, of evil Swamp Things to destroy the Earth, which they start creating. Meanwhile, Veronica, Ronnie, and George introduce Swamp Thing to the rest of their people, with Ronnie saying, "Hold on, everyone. This one's not like the other. He killed it. He saved us." And before they can convince everyone that he's on their side, they see an army of evil Swamp Things come out of the water ready to attack. Elsewhere, we see where Constantine disappeared to, and that is to converse with Deadman. He has a favor to ask, saying he needs to know where the woman and the girl are, telling Deadman, "I know you know where they are, and if I'm going to pull this off, I need them." We are then briefly brought back to the surface where Ronnie, Veronica, and George ask, "Can you stop them, big fella?" Swamp Thing replies, "This body is my last, but I will try," as he starts attacking the Horde, but it's not looking good. We are then brought back to Constantine and Deadman, as we see Deadman has brought Constantine to the woman he's speaking of, which we see on the final page of the book is Maxine, aka Animal Woman, and just like that, the issue ends. And there you have it, friends, another great issue in this series. After a long wait, this was another good issue for the book, as it's been a super fun horror apocalyptic story with some nice twists and turns. So I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with Swamp Thing in the end. He can very well die because this is an Elseworlds book, so they could easily just kill him off. Or he could live and find peace with his wife and daughter yet again. But also, how is Animal Woman gonna come into play? What is Constantine gonna use her for? All questions that need answers. But what do you guys think of this series thus far? Are you digging it like us? Let us know down in the comments. And that's gonna bring today's episode to a close, but if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, like, subscribe, and comment. It helps the channel out. But other than that, I'll see you next time when I talk about all things comics.